Hello, everybody. We're back. I'm George Mossey. I'm here with my co-host, Marshana Spavento, and this is Unexpected, the podcast. Last night we got episode 4. We are moving right along, and actually last night we got good news. Rihanna is okay. It turned out that she was just dehydrated and couldn't keep anything down. She wasn't in labor, and she was able to go home. The baby is safe. There's nothing to worry about. But on the way home, there was a pretty heated conversation because Rihanna never ever texted or called Taryn and told him that there was any likelihood of anything going wrong. And her mom was like, you should have told him because there was a possibility that you could have had the baby that day. He should have been made aware because he's the father, whether or not you like him or whether or not you get along with him. Him being the father, you should have actually taken that initiative to say, hey, just so you know, I'm in the hospital. There could possibly be a complication. And Rihanna was still not having it. She's like, I don't owe him anything.
Yeah, listen, it's painfully obvious that she's 15. I've said this before, and her mother is really pushing her to mature for the sake of the baby that's on the way. But it's like, honestly, there's no fast food way to mature, right? Like she can't just mature in the 9 months that she's pregnant. Maturity is something that takes time, and you really just can't rush it. So as much as everybody's saying the impending birth of your child is a reason to hurry up and mature, she's going to have to take her time and get there. And unfortunately, it initially is going to come at the expense of the child and at Taryn's expense as well, because she's not willing to she can't be level-headed and mature. And in some ways, I really feel for her. I'm an adult, but if I were to be in her position, any of us, right, or someone that you love and you're with sleeps with someone else, that's a really hard thing to get over for anybody. And then she's 15, and more than likely this was her first relationship, her first love, and there's a lot to be said about that. So I don't know what the future holds for them. She should have called Taryn. I wish she were there, but the most important thing right now is that she and the baby are safe.
Yes, we're glad that they're safe. And the next battle that we're going to see them fighting over is Taryn wants to be in the delivery room. Only one person is allowed, and she's 15. So that person for her is her mother, and he wants to be there. So that's the next battle, but we haven't seen that yet. So that'll be in the next episode. So we saw Jenna and Aiden last night, and we actually met Aiden's mom, who I can't remember exactly how many kids she had, but the oldest was
6 or something like that.
Right, and the oldest was in his late 30s, and then the youngest was 13, 14, so it was all over. And Aiden made the comment, he's like, my mom is a black belt in kids. She has it down, and she does. She has them of all ages. She can raise them, and she's doing a great job. And we actually also met Jenna's mom through the preview for next week, but she was the topic of last night's episode because the baby shower is being planned, and obviously Jenna's dad and her stepmom get along fine with Aiden's mom. The situation is getting confusing. Jenna's birth mother, who is her dad's ex-wife, they don't get along, so they're purposely planning the baby shower on a date that they know that she won't be able to go. That's the main issue.
And yeah, and I heard Jenna say that if her mother is not invited to the baby shower, that she is not going to go. And you know what? I really don't like Jenna. I feel like she's a really super spoiled, entitled brat. But on this one, I have to side with her, right? She brought up some good points to her father last night that you guys think that you can just have nothing to deal with each other. And that's not possible when you share a child. I hope Jenna remembers that when she and her child's father go through issues in the coming future, because I'm sure they will, just by nature that they, are teenage parents, right? There's issues that come with that. But she's right. And I get the father's point. Let her have her shower for her side of the family over there. Let me have my shower for my side of the family over here. And for Jenna and her baby, I mean, I guess that wouldn't be a bad thing, right? 2 sets of presents.
Right, yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, but the fact that it's coming at the expense of her mother, and she is going to stand in solidarity with the same mother that she said she moved out of her house and into her father's home because she and her mother were having so many fights and arguments, that she would still stand in solidarity with that same mother and say, if my mom's not there, neither will I.
Yeah, that says a lot. And I was shocked by the fact that she had something smart to say. I was just like, she was actually educating her dad. She's like, you You push her buttons. You know how to make my mom upset. You know, you keep this anger between the two of you going on. And she's like, you both are sharing a grandchild, your first grandchild. And this is a moment that you have to learn how to do and deal with together. And she was 100% right. So it's nice to see Jenna maturing, because we had not seen that in the past episodes. So it's always great to see her growing as a person. She's going to be growing as a mother, and she's actually giving good advice to her dad. And who knows if her mom is actually going to be at the baby shower, if there's going to be two baby showers. We don't know. I can't wait to see. I would love to see a good outcome like we saw with Mirka and her mom. We'll talk about that later. But let's go on to Tyra and Alex. So we didn't see Alex last night, but we didn't really see Tyra either. We saw mostly Tiara, which is Tyra's sister. And she was talking about her relationship with Haley, who we saw last season, and we got to see Haley coming back. They only live 2 hours apart. They met at the tell-all, and they've been best friends and texting, and they get along well. And Tiara said that she likes being friends with Haley because she feels like they can talk and they get along better than Tyra and Tiara. So her and her sister don't see eye to eye. So we also learned that 3 months after the tell-all, Matthew and Haley too. See, this is getting confusing. Matthew and Haley too, who was pregnant during the tell-all, have broken up. And Haley, I'm going to call her Haley 1, original Haley and Matthew are sleeping together again, which is, it's very complicated. It's such a complicated situation because he broke up with her. He did it very, very in a horrible, nasty, mean way. Now they're back to, she said they won't say that they're together, but they're sleeping together. And he's seeing the child and whatever. So it's just a really messy situation, and there's 2 children involved, and there's 2 best friends who won't speak to each other, and these 2 children are related by the same father, so they're going to be linked to each other forever. So this situation that happened when they were children is going to revisit them for the rest of their lives.
I just want to ask the original Haley, as much as it hurt when he got with Haley too and had that baby, do you not remember the way that he said she was the one who made him the most happiest in his life and really discredited you and slept with your best friend behind your back? And I know a part of her did not want that relationship to end. She was forced out of the relationship, right? She still loved him. She still had feelings. So I can understand why she gets back with him, but at what cost? If he would do something like that to you with your best friend. And to Haley too, yeah, you had to have him, right? You wanted him so bad. You were going to get with him behind your best friend's back and swear to God that your best friend was the problem. And you showed up at, 17 or 18 years old to be a second baby mother to your best friend's baby daddy. How does it feel now? But back to Tiara and Tyra. I just want to add this. So I do feel like Tiara is a little bit salty that Tyra has kept going in life. Tyra's going to shame her sister for leaving her behind, because that's what she's doing, right? Oh, I feel like as a mom, she should be there no matter what. She should make sure her daughter's great. Like, I sacrifice time with my daughter, and gets irritated when Tyra reaches out to her mom and them for support, because she's not like asking them for support while she's sitting in the house doing nothing. She's getting an education. She's building, extracurricular activities, which was she supposed to forfeit that because she became a teen mom? When her child has a whole father, the father is just as responsible too, right? So I feel like Tiara has a chip on her shoulder when it comes to Tyra, because she's a little bit resentful of the fact that Tyra has moved forward.
I agree. The fact that she has a plan doesn't sit well with Tiara, and maybe it's because Tiara didn't have that plan, or she doesn't have the support of the father of her baby, and I don't know what's making those feelings come about. Maybe we'll figure it out, and she'll tell us in the season later on why she feels that way, but there's definitely something there. And all right, so let's get to the fun part. There was a gender reveal party last night, and Mirka and Ethan's family went all out. It was amazing. The decorations, the food trays, the cakes, the mariachi band.
Yes.
It was amazing. I loved it. I wanted to be there. And I think the biggest surprise, I wasn't really surprised, because when I saw Liliana say, well, I work. There's no way that I would take off work to celebrate your pregnancy. I was like, she's going to be there. Because the way she works, she's a tough love mother. So she's going to tell you whatever is going to hurt you. But she's still, like, on Christmas morning when you tell your kid, I'm not buying you that. That's expensive. And then the smirk you give them when they're opening that present because you bought it anyway, but you wanted them to think that you weren't going to. I felt like that's what she was doing. So when she walked in to the gender reveal, I wasn't really surprised because I don't know any mother that could tell their child to their face, I'm not going to do something. I'm not going to be there to support you, when it's just literally leaving work 2 hours early to make that happen, you know?
Listen, I believed Liliana when she said she wasn't coming. Liliana has her guns. Liliana is not the mother to play with. She says, you open up your legs, you have sex while you're living in my house, I will put you out. And she meant it. So I didn't really have a reason to doubt Liliana, and neither did Mirka. Mirka was like, well, damn, I don't know. My mom, I know the mom I have, and she's this way. And she's still trying to disassociate herself from the baby. She softened up last night in a good way, and I think it was really good for everyone to see. And ultimately for Mirka and Ethan to experience Liliana kind of softening up a bit. So I think it was a good thing. But she's still trying to disassociate herself from the baby and was like, I'm not going to have a connection to the baby. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. That's one thing I doubt her on, because that baby's going to come out cute and fuzzy and warm and snuggly, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote. So
yeah, she's not going to be able to keep this hard exterior when the baby is born. And if you saw in the previews from last night, she actually went inside the house and she saw the bassinet, she saw the crib, she saw the decorations, and she was, oh, this is cute. I love this. I want her to wear this. Once that baby is there, the hard exterior is going to be broken. And it's so easy for her to think it's not, because the baby's not here. You can't hold it. You can't see it. You don't even know what it looks like yet. But once you see it, it's over. And I feel that the baby is what's going to bring her and her mother back together. And I know that's the opposite of what her mom thinks. But I feel like when Mirka gives birth, Liliana is going to be physically there more for her. And she's going to be more open emotionally. I feel like the baby is going to open Liliana up to being a more sensitive person. She's hard as nails. And I think that being a mother didn't do it for her. So being a grandmother might be what makes it happen.
it might be. And listen, my own son, I've seen him melt a few hearts already, you know. I've seen my one of my husband's brothers, he speaks to him regularly, but he hadn't seen him in 11 years. They live 3 hours apart, even though they speak. And I saw my little son, you know, bring those two brothers back together because he wanted to meet his nephew, you know, his first nephew. So babies have a way of making people go the extra mile and make themselves available and show up even when they don't want to. And so, Liliana, you are no chance. You stand no chance, Liliana.
She will be defeated. That baby girl, it's a girl, by the way. I hope you guys
Yes,
watch the episode.
girl. We saw that. Yes.
It's a girl.
Listen, Ethan's family, shout out to them. Those fireworks, everything. It was just such an amazing gender reveal. I had a Corona drive-by gender reveal where my friend popped the trunk and let go some balloons.
Yes, that was an amazing party. I wanted to be there. I was like, where was my invite? That was beautiful.
Okay.
All right, guys, that was the episode. And like I said, next week, we're going to see Liliana go into Ethan's parents' house and see the nursery. And I think this is going to be the turning point for her. So I can't wait for that. I'm George Mossey. I'll put my Twitter at the bottom. This is Marshana Spavento. Thank you so much for joining us for the Unexpected Podcast. We will see all of you next Sunday, right after 90 Day Fiancé. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you later.